Hello and welcome to this short video demonstration showcasing Rev-Trac's integration with ITSM Connector. This scenario is going to showcase a less traditional approach to utilizing ITSM Connector, and the scenario actually better integrates ITSM Connector with a change management process. So traditionally, ITSM Connector would be used to create production issues and raise an awareness on an ITSM or help desk system. It would be unlikely that organizations would go directly from production issue to generating Rev-Trac request. It would typically have a little bit of scrutinization from the ITSM or help desk team. However, during the change management process, it becomes far more relevant to create awareness to developers of changes that might be defective, particularly during the testing process. So what we're going to showcase today is exactly that. So I'm starting off on a developer screen here. The developer's been requested to please improve this object. So I'm going to go into my development system, find that object, and I'm going to make some modifications. Now, unbeknownst to this developer, they may introduce something that's going to create a problem with this object or with the solution in general. So as I activate this, I will of course add my change to a Rev-Trac request. Please improve this object. Choose to continue. Going back to my Rev-Trac request now, of course we can see that transport is associated, and I can trigger the migration along to the QA system for testing. Of course, there's safety checks, making sure the dependencies and common objects being worked on are being sequenced correctly. And once I approve that, an automatic job will trigger the migration and deployment across to my QA environment. And that's Q75. Okay, we can see the status has been updated to in QAS, and the migration sense indicator says this was green, therefore a good migration. So now I'm going to go and perform my testing, which is the next step in the process. So I'll go over to Q75 and I'll execute this object. And of course, we're having an issue now. So this is an unexpected dump, and it's been discovered during the testing phase of the change management process. So I'm going to generate a ticket at this point. I'll create a support message, which is using ITSM Connector. Unlike in the other video we did, which showed the more natural integration coming out of production system, in this case, we already have a ticket. It's an existing ticket. It's number 798. And effectively what we're doing here is we're performing a rejection of the testing. So this is a failed test. We can put some notes here as to why we're rejecting this ticket. And we can communicate with the development team or the developer that there is a problem, and of course ITSM Connector will gather all the details that it can about the session, what's occurring, and information that will be relevant to the development team to assist them in, of course, resolving this ticket as quickly as possible. So that's now successfully updated. If I return back to my Rev-Trac screen, we can now see that firstly the status has progressed back to in progress. If we have a look at the workflow, we can see the status was rejected. That's why we're back in progress. And of course, if we have a look at the attachments, we now have a lot of information relevant to what was going on that Q75 system and why this failed. So a lot of information that the developers will of course be wanting to see to help them diagnose the issue a lot quicker. We've also got a screenshot showing what the user was experiencing at the time of the issue. So now, of course, the developer can go back into Q75, prove that this is a problem. We can see the dump here, but of course, reproducing the issue. Again, the dump is occurring. We can also go into our D75 system, which is the development environment. And if we execute over here, once again, reproducing that dump. So the developer's now able to very quickly and easily work out what's going on. They've been provided further information which help them get to the root cause as quickly as possible. I'll now remedy this issue in the dev system. Find the Rev-Trac request we're working on, 798. And what the developer probably should have done in the first place, test this, and here's our expected result. We're getting the output that program should have been generating. Now we can go back to our Rev-Trac request. We'll see there's an additional transport. This original transport was the original requirement being delivered, and the second transport manages the defect resolution. So we'll trigger the migration now. Only the second transport, which is not yet released, will be released and migrated to QA. Once again, safety checks occurring, making sure we're sending in the correct sequence. And now the release and deployment. An automatic job will pick that up from the queue, and it'll be delivered to the Q75 system in just environment. Okay, we can now see a successful migration to Q75, and we can say that this is in QAS. Now we can go over to the Q75 system. And this time, we have the expected outcome. So this is passing testing, and we can now sign it off as testing complete, and with great confidence, send a defect-free solution through to our production instance. I'll go ahead and approve that. Now both transports have gone into the queue and will be deployed across to the production instance. See a successful import of the first transport, and now a successful import of both. The change has gone to complete, and of course, just to prove that this is working correctly in production, we can go to P75, execute, and that's the expected outcome for our production users. I hope this video was helpful. Please do let us know if you have any questions. Feel free to contact us at the website. Thank you very much.